Right, here I am again. Here I am again. I've got some. I'm going to talk about sort of coping strategies. I got a letter this morning from. Oh, hello. Right on cue as usual. No, I'm going to sit here and lick myself. Not me. Him. Um, what was it about? Yeah, coping strategies. Yeah, I got a letter this morning from my support worker, the company she works for, and it was loads of stuff about coronavirus and like just all the like info and the curfew and all that sort of shit, which is handy. Um, and they're still offering my support by phone. I'm still getting weekly input, and numbers to call, all of that sort of thing. Um, I think there's another point about like call me if you're lonely and call me if you're sad and all that. I think another reason people don't call is because that then becomes the reason for the call. That's why if you called them to say hi, that's the reason for the call. And it works a lot much better in making them feel loved, cared for, appreciated, thought about, all of that sort of stuff. Little tip, don't tell them to ring you, ring them. Yet again. I will keep pushing that point home because it's like, I do see a lot of people with a load of willingness and a lot of wantingness to help. And I just want to say, it's just you just need to make the call. That's all. And don't. The thing is, if people like really, 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 really needed to talk to someone, they wouldn't call their mates, would they? Really? Because you need a professional. That was one conclusion I made. It was one of my naked posts where I actually apologised to all my friends and said, when I've been going on about this, I've been putting you in the position of what turned out at the time. It was that, when you get referred by a psychiatrist to a psychologist whose name also starts with doctor, then you know there's something that needs fucking addressing. And it needs addressing by people like that. So then I sort of apologised for saying, I've been putting you in the position of a counsellor or a psychologist, and that's not fair. That's too much of an expectation. We sort of seem to live in a world where, problem shared is a problem halved and all that. Yeah, problem shared, but it's never shared, is it? It's met. It's met with challenges, is the other thing. People are convinced that it's not happening by the person who claims that they're trying to help. That's where so much of this breaks down. So you end up a lot of the times for probably 100 at least reasons. You end up a lot of the time on your own anyway. And a lot of the stuff that I do is kind of precautionary. Some people would say it's negative thinking. Other people would say it's managing my expectations and managing my symptoms, learning to live with it. And so, like, the first thing I need to do is not catastrophize. Because I'm still immune to that. I haven't gone into a right old panic about it. There's times I've got a little bit, this could get nasty. But I haven't, not like I have done in the past. But I think that's because there's a huge side of me like, oh yeah, and again, is it? Because I've heard it too many fucking times before. That the media go into a frenzy about this fucking supposed disaster and then it suddenly disappears. And I think probably a lot of people are sort of with me on that one. But then I am taking it seriously. What was good, I got stopped by the coppers. It's not a back street, but it's like you only go up this road if you're going into the estate, really. The road goes pretty much all the way up to Winton, but in amongst it is just loads and loads of houses. It's just like a grid of just house after house after house. It's just a fucking housing estate. And they were walking up that road. As soon as I walked out and closed the gate, it's like fucking plod straight away. But good. And they were pleasant and polite. I think they were PCSOs or whatever the fucking word is. The almost coppers. Them not. But obviously they sort of beelined me, and from about sort of 5 minutes, I was, morning, hi mate, how you doing today? All like they do, the big old friendly hi. I was like, yeah, where are we off to today? Just down to the co-op. So I live just there. You just see me come out of where I live. Just go for some food. Lovely. I said, and I'll probably stay in for the rest of the day. I think I will, because I want to help out with this image from everyone that everyone is ignoring it. But it's like, literally, if you think about it, I've been to the shop. I did think, fuck, I was supposed to do my washing before I went to the shop because I was going to tie in the visits. So, but I could technically go later and say, look, I need fucking clean clothes. I'm only going to the laundrette. It's an essential service. I need clean clothes. I don't. I've got plenty. I'll just go tomorrow. But technically, I could do that, and then I could go out for my exercise. I could say, well, yeah, but I need to, I need to drive to where I exercise because I do, and that's all allowed. It's all allowed. I wouldn't be able to say a lot against it. I'm allowed out for an hour. It'd take me 10, 15 minutes to drive into the forest, and I could do my exercise for an hour around the forest, and then drive back. And then what's the likelihood that the same copper's going to stop me on the way back and say, oh, you've been fucking 68 minutes or whatever. So it seems to be frustrating a lot of people, and that's bothering me because that's when Facebook is filled with people shouting and complaining and begging for shutdown and all of that. And it's all negative energy. And it's really difficult to put it across to people. It's like, that is buying into it. All that worry and all that is buying into it. It needs to be met with love and happiness. It really fucking does. But, rather than using love to challenge it, people go, I can't fucking love at the moment. I'm angry. So, yeah. I back to my own bubble. I can only make my own contribution and do my own thing. And it's like I need to just not catastrophize about how difficult it's going to get, because I can sort of see it getting quite difficult and quite frustrating. Like I say, I don't see a lot of people anyway, but that's not really through choice. It's a choice I'm making, in the light of what's going on. It's a choice I kind of have to make. That's why it feels like prison. But it's not my choice. I'm a very sociable person. I like being around people, believe it or not. I like, social occasions. I can be the life of the party. I can be. I can brighten the room up. I've had that said quite a lot. You brighten the room up when you come. Lovely. Not for a while, I haven't, mate. Not for a fucking while. No. So, yeah, it's, not being able to see, just seeing my favourite human. She's like massively therapeutic to me. She's just one of the few people I just feel like I'm me. I can just talk normally and don't have to be like cautious of what I say, because I have to be cautious of what I say to a lot of you guys, because I risk you coming in with I know what's wrong with you, it's this, and have you tried this, and people start curing me because they think they can and they think they're being helpful. But just the very suggestion, the fact is it's not helpful, but just the very suggestion that it's not helpful means I'm instantly being rude and I'm not listening to anyone and I'm pushing people away. That's been, again, like a boiled down version of trying to interact with this shit with people. That's what happens. That's what's happened so many times, is I get deemed to be pushing people away when all I'm doing is trying to explain it in the midst of someone interrupting my explanation and correcting it. You would get frustrated too. You would. That's one of the reasons I've had to make the choice to stay away from people and not talk to people about a lot of things, because this shit always comes up and I always just feel bullied and fucking controlled by people. Literally everything is just instructions that people are calling advice. Do this, talk to them, do that, stop doing this, think this, do that, and it's fucking hell. Mate, if it was that fucking simple, those are all very basic fucking things that you're talking about, and I could have figured that out for myself. Do you not think I might have figured it out for myself, that might be something to try already? And that's, so then there it all is then. I'm trapped. That's how I feel, trapped. But with her, I don't. I just feel like me. And as the weeks go on, I'm sure that's going to mount up. It's like, if I start thinking that shit now, I'm just going to I will end up negatively thinking myself into a shit pit. So I've got today I've got a DJ mix to compile. My mate's doing a DJ marathon. And I think I'd been invited by 2 or 3 different people and not gone for it. And then I just said this morning, I'll throw something together today if you like. And the geezer's messaged me and gone, I'll add you to the lineup. I was like, yay. So I've got something to actually do, and I'm going to get the curse of the red button as soon as you start to actually think about what you're going to do and where you're going to go with it. As soon as you start recording, it gets about the 4th mix and you fuck it up. Oh God, start again, and you get sick of hearing the first two tunes. Fucking sick of hearing the first two tunes. Yeah, it can get quite. You think this is the thing that I love. That's why I've always said I've probably never made it as a DJ, because I do not want to be a headliner. Because I can't think of anything worse than having to do fucking mixes for work, and just like when it becomes like work, I won't have the passion for it anymore. Even though you get paid well, but it's like, and that's probably why I've never made it, because you're supposed to set your targets really high, aren't you? And I'm like, nah, I still love it just as much, and I want to keep loving it. So that's why I'm never on. That's why I'm not often on stage doing it. Anyway, I've got that to focus on, and that's like, that'll be a good way to test the meds as well, to see how they're doing. Because it's it's a format of being quite analytical at times, and I'll try and do something that's something of a journey, and that the tunes kind of blend well together and all of that, and make it sound like something. I won't when I do my live jams, they sound good, but they're full of mistakes, and it doesn't matter because I'm just jamming. That's why I gave up actually planning my sets when I was playing live. So it's just take a playlist and just fuck around, just play from the hip. Ever since I've done that, I've been a lot more relaxed on the decks. Don't try and control it, but now I'm going back to trying to control it and getting frustrated, or potentially getting frustrated. But it's I've had to realign my expectations. I can't do a lot of the stuff that I thought I was going to do. So like, right, well, what can I do? What have I got around me? Actually quite a bit. And there is no other choice. I can sit there and feel fucking shit about not being able to go out and not being able to see anyone, but it's like, well, you can't. So when you tend to have no other options, you tend to be better at getting into things. So hopefully, so I could get all of my study done, could get everything done, could get loads and loads of little background tasks, which involve a lot of organisation, but aren't actually that important in the grand scheme of things. So then when I'm returning to do the grand scheme of things, I don't have all the other little bits of fucking incidentals dragging me down. I haven't sorted that out yet. I need to email them. Fucking hell, I haven't cancelled that yet. I haven't done this. There's fucking hundreds. I am a pit of disorganisation. So, yeah. I can get on with that sort of shit. And literally get back to taking it a day at a time and all of that sort of stuff. Use my messenger chats to people. I've planned on someone I'm going to messenger chat in a minute. And that's going to have to be my company, my cat, and just the fact that I can see people and chat to them. Part of me is going to be like, I wish I was there. But the other part of me is like, well, it's either talk to them on a computer screen or talk to nobody, talk to the air. Fucking deal with what you've got in it. So yeah, if you're going through isolation with your partner, you're fucking lucky. You're fucking lucky. You've got someone in bed next to you at night, someone to wake up with, some people around you, people to do stuff for. It's going to really help keep you sane. Because I chat to the people in the house, but I kind of said from the start, I want to treat it like basically we live in different flats in a way. It's just you hear me coming in and going out and stuff. Because I've mentioned it before, and we do. It's like they keep to themselves. She's there with her partner, they keep to themselves. They're in the lounge. We might cross paths and chat, but that's it. Do you know what I mean? That is literally it. Other than that, there's nothing. There's a cat. So that's what I've got. So that's what we're going to have to make the best of, and that's what we're going to start learning to do in a rational way with a reasonable approach to it, rather than starting to worry about it now. That's my plan.